and so a lot of people get real happy when they hear, oh man, yeah, you know, we were all Jesus was black, and well, to be honest with you, there were a lot of black people in this area. Africa extended far past where it is now. That you can't go by the invisible lines that people put on continents, and it extended all the way up into what we call the Middle Eastern area. But if you look at a lot of these biblical texts and tales, you find that people enslaved people. Hebrews enslaved other. Hebrews had their own slaves. I'm against slavery of any type. I'm against slavery of any race of people. I'm against slavery, period. I'm against, if an animal knew how to enslave another animal, I'm against that. I'm against slavery, period. So when you try to own up to, all this, yeah, it was us. Well, own up to all of it too. Own up to the slavery, own up to the brutal murderings of women, own up to the brutal rape of women, own up to all of it. Own up to all of it. So we're in a state of the world right now where we need to understand who we are, where we came from, and we need to also accept a lot of the things that we did do in the past that were wrong. And the thing is to not get excited about what skin color somebody was. The thing is to get excited about learning the truth about the ancient past and saying, wow, this whole time we've been praying to this Pope. And then at the same time we're praying to this Pope, this image is literally burnt into our brain, to the point where when you hear Jesus, you instantly see that face. So this guy is taking up real estate in all of the brains of 8 billion people on planet Earth. And at the same time that you see that face, you're calling a name that has nothing to do with that face. It's got a tie back to an ancient Anunnaki being named Enlil that was a brutal, enslaving murderer on this planet and put in the systems in place that we still have today, including the police system, the bicameral Congress. All that was started by Enlil. Even he even started the way that city grids are laid out. He said to his sister in one of the tablets, to Ninmah, he said to Ninmah, this plan I have on this planet is to last for all time. This guy didn't say this should last for a couple hundred years. This guy said, my plan for what I'm going to do to this planet is going to last for all time. That's etched in stone. And guess what, guys? The evidence of that is still all around us. Because no matter what neighborhood I go to, there's 1,000 churches in every neighborhood. And the more brutal the neighborhood is, I went to my old neighborhood actually about 3 months ago, took Elizabeth down there. There were, I think it was 32 churches in a 8 square mile area. And 32 in that neighborhood, people are getting shot and killed, stabbed, and drugged out and dying from overdoses, and houses broken into, the crime is through the roof every single day. My elementary school has a 20-foot barbed wire fence around it, and there's a church right around the next corner. You see what I'm saying? What's going on here? You need to understand that these images that they put out, this programming that they put out, is fake. They want you to believe that this Yeshua was sent here from heaven by some magical white deity with a white robe on and a magic wand. And then the guy with the magic wand and the white robe said, you know what? These people, I know I'm omnipotent and I'm omniscient and I know everything, but I just can't seem to figure out how to make these people behave. So what I'll do is I'll kill my own son, and that'll teach them. Come on, man. For real? And then in school we told that the Greeks have mythology. And then people go to Bible study the same night. Come on. For real? Are we being for real here? Come on, guys. We got to stop. We got to stop, man. We got to stop this foolishness. At some point, we got to sit down and say, something ain't really adding up here. Yeah, this is contradicting this. This is contradicting that. God knows everything, but yet he didn't know that Adam and Eve became conscious. God knows everything, but at the same time, He couldn't stop people from being bad. He couldn't just come down and say, hey guys, I have a better way to teach you something. Let me show you something a little bit different. He couldn't just figure it out. So he said, you know what? I got something. I'll just torture my own kid, and then that'll teach him. Listen, in the Sinai Bible, which predates the King James Bible, Yeshua was never sacrificed. Let me say that again. In the Sinai Bible, which predates the King James Bible by almost 1,000 years, Yeshua was never sacrificed. Not only that, there's close to 10,000 mistranslations between the two Bibles. The King James Bible is heavily curated information. You want to get closer to the source, you got to get to the Ethiopian Bible, which includes the book of Enoch. That's the only Bible in the world that includes the full book of Enoch is in the Ethiopian Bible. And this book has been so altered and so played with that the information is skewed and set up in a way where it's pure neuroscience. And when I mean these people that put this together, these people had to be neuroscientists. This is why I'm telling you in my previous video from last week, could the God of the Bible really be Satan? Well, the answer is yes. And the answer is, this is the person, and him and his nephew, Amun-Ra, curated this thing from the very beginning, how they wanted it to play out. So they can make you think that they were going to their demise. Meanwhile, they were leading you to your own demise. Taking you completely off course and off track as to what the real meaning of the text actually is. By mixing a lot of truth with a little bit of lies. Sprinkling it right in there with some fabrication. Now, you as a human being with a regular old standard IQ of about 80 can't even detect it. And then now you're thinking, oh, we outwitted this devil. We outwitted this dude. He's dumb. No, this guy is supposed to have the highest IQ next to God. According to your book, his IQ was right up there with God's IQ. So his IQ was in the thousands, and your IQ is 80, and you're telling me you're following this book that says he's going to go into this lake of fire, step by step to his own destruction, is laid all out for him. He's just going to follow it. And you believe that? And your IQ is 80 and his IQ is over in the thousands. Come on now. Either you got to come to some understanding that maybe this guy his IQ ain't in the thousands. Maybe this guy, it doesn't even exist. Heaven and hell is a state of mind. Hell was added to the Bible by the Roman Catholic Church. Lake of fire was added to the Bible in the 1600s, Roman Catholic Church. The rapture was added to the Bible in 1835 by William James Darby. Okay, added to the Bible. Then later it was a cliff note originally, a suggestion that he came up with on his own. But when some pastors saw how much power it had over the people, it later made it into the canonized text. And now you got people running around talking about the Lord is coming to rapture me and take me back on this cloud and all this crazy stuff. No, ma'am. No, sir. That's just fabricated information that you didn't know about. Doesn't exist.
By Compendium of the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson.